Hey y'all, it's your girl S Neil here, and we're back with Tempo Is. So the developer gave me a hint to get through the progression block for the second clue. So I'm gonna see how far I can get after that point. We'll just have to see. Okay, so we know that can't see what's so unsettling about it is the big black doorway. And avoid in her place, that's the hint I was given. So we're gonna go ahead and go through that. Okay, so we're at one part where we definitely get one of the clues. I was also told by the developer that Tenpo is not a child. Tenpo, I feel like, is just kind of like a creature, which they've confirmed that he's basically mythical. But yeah, they are quite petite and little. If I do call him a child through here, it's just because I'm just being an asshole. Or just a joke. Okay. Okay, so the second clue is supposed to be the chair. There it is. So, again, I wonder if anything's gonna change. Okay, so now the branch says well done. The branch used to not say anything. Two for mirth. So I guess when you do things right, you just get to come back to human world. I guess it's like a cue that you've done it right. So finally, something new. So we got through the progression block, and I probably will be using my mouse and my spacebar. Herman, damn it. They're early. Not your whole family. I talked all sorts of... I talked very ill of this place. Felice, why were you being a dick? In your face and behind your back. I couldn't possibly be the reason you don't want us over at your house. Right. And I almost feel bad about it now. Maybe it looked a certain way. Almost. Yeah, it looks nice. Thank you. You made it sound like it was half complete or something. So had he just moved in or something? Well, it kind of is. I just noticed your bandaged hand. What happened? Who has a bandaged hand? Oh, okay. Oh, I got burnt like an idiot. Don't tell me while cooking for us. I bet you never cook. That one time you had to, you messed up. Am I right? I know I'm right. So according to you, I'd only eat raw food? Yes, that's right. Refined, yet savage. I can't believe it took this long. Your place has been a mystery for how long was it? Like 2 years. I feel bad about that. It was none of y'all's business, but, you know, still. It took me a while to actually convince myself and get some work done. Sounds like he had depression and maybe his place was just kind of a mess. Somehow you get the feeling this is a man's kitchen. In a good way. Frankly, that's what I was aiming at. Whatever that means. What's that spot on the ceiling? I'm guessing it's one of those things that are not complete. Felice is kind of a dick. Sorry. That was actually complete until I had a water infiltration. In the middle of the ceiling? I'll get it patched up properly at some point. Unless y'all want to be built for that shit. I know, right? Water infiltrations are the worst. So, in the other world or story or something with Tenpo, the water came through the ceiling. So, I don't know like how connected. Well, it's got to be connected, but I just don't know if it's mythical or not. Here's my bedroom, or psychological. We should skip it. Seriously, it's a mess. I'll take a peek anyway. Somebody needs to punch Felice in the throat. Of course you do. Herman, you're so passive aggressive. This is basically a storage for now. It's my brother's bedroom. Oh, it's my mother's bedroom. Most of her personal belongings I didn't know what to do with ended up in here. Oh, so she asked you to keep her stuff around? Not really. We haven't talked about it. We haven't talked at all, if I'm being honest. It's time to tell you. I can't keep it to myself a second longer. That haircut is a disgrace. I had a feeling you were going to say something about it. And now we hear birds chirping? Of course. What age do you think you are? Is this your reaction to some mid-life crisis? Hey, I like to believe I still have some time before reaching midlife. Honestly, though, that means nothing coming from you. Yeah, question mark. Nah, he's fine. I can't even imagine him with short hair anymore. Huh. That's... Okay, listen here. One day, you're going to cut your hair short again. Look at yourself in old pictures and say, God, what was I even thinking? Pictures? He won't. You heard the oracle? Where'd the little kid go? He's cool, you know. So serious and focused. And I said, and you find that hot? Thanks, you're a true friend. But was she for real? Me focused? I know, right? That's what I call poor judgment. That's fine, though. You really need this kind of poor judgment and bad taste right now. That might be true, but don't you fucking try. I knew you were going to say that. Is this y'all's sense of humor? Why, though? She's cute. I thought you kind of liked her. Man. Man, what? I mean, he can definitely find better. Not right now, he won't. He looks as if he hasn't slept in 20 years. Thanks again. Get out of my house. Still, he always was somewhat popular. You were. I'll never understand that. He sounds like a jealous little kid or a sibling or something. I remember the other kids mistook you for cool for some reason. You were popular too. That one's a mystery. You were on a different level. I had girls insider info. Do we really need this conversation? I think we do. Yeah, put Felice in his place. You started it, love. She's in stable condition. Meaning she's not waking up, but they couldn't find out what caused the condition in the first place. So there's still hope, and so on and so forth. We hope for the best. There's something really important we were able to forget. What? Your bag with your stuff. What? Aren't you coming to stay for a while? Who said that? Is there something I'm not remembering? How much did I drink? Not enough. Seriously though, come with us. Take a week off. It's not a vacation. I'll be honest, Philly. I can't put up with you that long. Okay, I could barely do this. Come on, I'm not that bad. I've been decent since I've moved in with Jen, I swear. Can she confirm? You waited for her to get in the car to say it. She can. Possibly. But listen, I just want you to get out for a while. Like, really, out of this house. Take a break. Nah, sorry. I'm coming for a couple days, maybe in spring if Jen is okay with it. Of course. Jen is okay with it. You should talk it over. We have. Look, if you really don't believe me, she'll tell you. Wait, I believe you. Thanks, really, but I still can't right now. Why? Spring is miles away. Late February will probably be okay for me. This shirt makes more sense now. I didn't think you'd invite him over right away. I had to. I know. I just would have waited a couple days not to push him too much. It's easier for him to refuse by phone. Apparently, he still managed to refuse in person. I'm really worried. I even asked him if I could stay. You did? I should have insisted. This time I feel like I made the wrong choice. So it seems like maybe Herman's mother became ill or had an accident where she's like in a coma or something. We do see hospital doors, sorry. The chapter title said the charming one. Not charming at all, you say? That one opinion it hurts to think about. What object are we supposed to click? What does that mean? Okay, so what I was saying earlier is that maybe Herman's mother became ill or incapacitated some kind of way. Now she's in the hospital, but he was living with her in that house. I don't know if that is her house and he was staying with her because she was ill, and now that the worst has happened or is happening, he's just kind of sitting in the house. But anyway, don't know what this has to do with the other just yet. So Tenpo tried opening the door again. It wouldn't budge. Could somebody have locked it while he was upstairs? Was that somebody in the house? He just stood there for a moment, feeling frustrated, but not quite worried yet. Following reason, he decided to go back and explore the rest of the house, but apparently, the entrance to the living room had disappeared, because of course it did. As if it had never been there to begin with. There was just a wall. Swiftly, he tried going back to the kitchen. But a wall was in place of that entrance as well. Now that looked like something to worry about. Oh yeah, I forget I'm supposed to be clicking stuff. He wasn't one to panic, but he had very little patience when things didn't go his way. A raspy scream of frustration escaped him. Okay, so what was it? Not charming at all, you say? That one opinion it hurts to think about. Not charming. Who would that even be at? There was a glass right above the front door that let some light into the small room. With a jump and a couple of flaps of his wings, Tenpo gave a quick look outside. Are we back to this again? There was a man or something that looked like one standing near the door. Okay, so not charming, you say. I don't have to reread this because we've done this. Just gonna click on him. What's interesting is that we got through all of the other stuff, but we had the same like clue because he didn't get it right. I'm just gonna click on manhole. Not charming at all. Something else. You know what? I already probably missed it because I didn't even click him when he showed up. Okay, there's one. And which one was that for? Yeah, you're not charming, dude. Okay, the one opinion it hurts to talk about, to think about. Okay, so that's one. The one opinion that it hurts to think about? That's gotta be when they're talking about the lady. So I'm thinking that the lady's supposed to represent the mother. Because she is gone in Herman's life. And has disappeared from Tenpo's life. Like the mother, but not. The opinion that hurts to think about. It's gotta be when they're talking about. Okay. Oh, ooh. Okay, so clicking next to him did that. How are you supposed to know that? That's the trick. That was a trick. Okay, so the opinion that hurts the most is that he stands out in humankind, so. Okay, so now they're basically just talking about the birds and manholes, like, we're gonna kill them when we get out of here. We need to team up and do that because they're bad. Tenpo's like, okay, whatever you want. And he's still stuck in the house, and the guy is the only one able to leave the house. And we gotta work our way outside. Okay. Thank God. 3 for a Funeral, Part 1. Dang. Jin, I told you not to let him watch scary movies. I swear I haven't. I haven't. Then why are you making that face, you dumbass? You totally have. So what were you saying about Herman's branch at work? I happened to have a talk today with one of those guys that got me thinking. I don't think he even tried to explain anything back then. He didn't ask for a change of schedule. I mean, if there was something going on, he could have said so. He didn't. 'Cause that's how grief works, but I just think I know everything. He literally just up and left. Now he's not even trying to go back, and he was way too vague when we asked him about his future plans. Seriously, what could ever lead to this? His mother being in a coma surely didn't help, even though he acted as if it was no big deal. Of course, he never implied he didn't care. It would have been a flat-out lie. It's going to be harsh to see your parent unconscious, especially when you feel there's so much you needed to talk about. Yeah, but I think there's got to be something besides that. I think so too. Something big we don't know about. I remember how he was during the breakup. He might have been depressed, but we still talked. He still was the same old him. The last conversation we had that felt real was before he broke up. He'd been wanting to do it for a long time. However, he started acting weird a while after that. Something changed after he moved to his mother's house. Maybe he got into some addiction or debts, maybe? I wish. He would have told me. Would he have? Would he have, Felice? That's the sort of stuff he'd talk about. Could he be so neck deep in debt that he cut contacts with us? Not to get us in trouble? That's actually something he would do. Maybe he was heading that way since before? Could also be why he left Valeria in the first place. Or it might have all started once he got a hold of his mother's possessions, gambling, losing, debt. Is there any evidence that in the past he used to gamble? Not that he really strikes me as the gambling type, though. Oh, we have no evidence. Felice, do better. Well, who knows? His mother might have been hiding some riches. It's not like we know anything about her. I never even knew what happened between them. Me neither. I just know one day she left her family out of the blue to go live by herself on the mountain in her own folks' home. And that's all. I don't even know whether her parents were still alive at the time. The worst thing is, I don't think he ever got to know much more than that either. I'm realizing just now, he ended up doing the very same thing his mother did. He only had the foresight of doing it before getting married. Poor Valeria. Why would somebody name you Valeria? I don't think she's over it yet. I feel like it was just yesterday we were all on holiday together now. Hey, love. Can't sleep? Ungracious guest. Didn't get to read the rest. Here goes another one. It's an odd metaphor. Redundant, but not without reason. He's been looking for the front door key for a while with no result. Probably because it's not a key. Having tried everywhere else, he decided to search the kitchen. Oh! While closing one of the cupboards, Tenpo's eye fell on an odd poster on the wall. It depicted a stylized hand holding a sprouted seed. Yeah, it is an odd metaphor. It kind of looks like it's just a seed. A good product comes from a good seed. Something to do with agriculture, weird nonetheless. For a moment, that seed looked kind of off. He didn't feel like taking any chances. Could the birds have been in the house? Without any movement too sudden, he left the kitchen and went for the stairs. That was too fast to catch. So redundancy, it's got to be the birds. Because the birds are the only things that keep resurfacing. So this must be the mom's room with all her stuff in it that he doesn't know what to do with. Me guessing. The ugly feeling of having just done something wrong. He started hearing the birds again, screaming, getting closer. Yep. Nervous, he pushed against the door to keep it closed, and he felt banging from the other side. So for those of you who don't... Wow. We've already read all this in the first part. It was fuzzy, but he saw that the door to the other room had been opened. How is it open now? Did they do it? Did they go in there? Did they come out of there? What is there in that room? Oh, and then there is. So anyway, I don't know why that means that. All right. What is there in that room? It's closed again. Well, at least we got it. I'm just gonna... Okay, sir, you could totally have said something. The birds, terrified, had no time to react and were apparently erased away, disappearing completely. For a brief moment, Tenpo wondered if that had been the end of the birds. The clear answer came as soon as Mayhole got back in one piece. I didn't get a single one of them. The artwork for the CGs in the Tenpo world, I feel look a little better than the ones in the real world. 3-4 Funeral Part 2. Still not sure of how metaphorical any of it is. Well, that seemed pretty physical. quite literally. Is that an avalanche? What the? Oh, it's real. Earthquake. Earthquakes registered at regular intervals. Epicenters located in restricted area. Avalanches and landslides, 3 roads closed. Red alert for 6 towns at the base of the mountains. That sucks when you live in the middle of nowhere. Herman. There go those birds. Herman's like, I don't care. Oh, shit. Uh-oh. They must be calling about his mother. 9 missed calls. From the hospital? That day? Well, I'm convinced that it's some sort of depression. His friends are like, we just don't understand. What am I looking at? First encounters. This tragedy is missing an act. Okay. Now that's a man that's lost composure. Manhole's body had literally melted before Tenpo's eyes. He'd shown the ability to melt earlier. It was apparently something he could do. So, in the previous one, I had clicked on a bunch of stuff, but it like had X's on it. And I kind of already know that those are the things we need to click on, but I don't remember it that well, and I haven't rewatched the first one. We turned into a black location. First encounters, this tragedy is missing an act. I forgot to click on things. That's how this game works. So even when you click on stuff, it's not like you can pause, which I guess is kind of interesting because you have to reevaluate what they're saying. You need the narrative to know what you're supposed to click on, but even then sometimes it's just super abstract. I don't know, which one is first encounter? See, this is why I don't read these. I don't read these things more than twice. Okay. Jeez, really? This is first encounter. Okay. I knew it had to be manhole and the birds, but it just... I remember clicking on them, but not that scene. I don't know if this world is informing the real world. Like, I don't know how literal we're supposed to actually take it. Okay, there we go. The tragedy is missing an act. Like, the whole part of we were friends and now we're not. It's literally missing something. The birds now seem to be dead. What was wrong with that? Nothing, actually. That was exactly what he and Manhole were aiming to accomplish. Yet that new picture didn't sit right with him. Maybe he had to dwell onto these unpleasant feelings, like his mom in the hospital, in the real world. Why were dead birds a problem? They shouldn't have been. It's a natural process. In fact, their death should have been the end of a problem. Maybe his mom was problematic. I can't help but do parallels between the two, even if they're separate. More birds started jumping into the room, attempting no aggression, rather just staring, waiting, or curious about something. They were fine, each of them alive and well, so what did this all mean? Why y'all not murderous anymore? A new concept captured his mind. He turned to look at the room again, and then again at the picture. Something isn't right. Besides the picture itself, no one would ever hang a picture on that wall. You know, because there's so many other walls. There is no wall over there. That's enough. Vroom. Tenpo was suddenly overtaken by a violent shockwave that hurled him away, the earthquake, allowing no more room for conjecture. Or rather, just manhole. And these seem to be hospital doors. Just like the beginning. I'm gonna save again too. Knocking birds. He was wrong. Enough. This is all new material. I'm getting rid of every single one of you, including us, because we're also a bird. The developer said that Tenpo is based on a Japanese mythological creature. So the developer said that Tenpo is based off of a mythological Japanese creature, the Tengu, in other little video games and stuff, and they're all winged troublemakers. Usually they're usually like winged troublemakers, or they're like super self-righteous or something. But then again, that's just video game logic on my end. But yeah, I think Manhole sees him as one of these birds. I don't need his help. You don't know that. Tenpo could be useful, even though he hasn't really been. The confrontation between Manhole and the bird seemed to be very harsh this time around. Tenpo could see them through a particular flower-shaped hole. But the birds? Oh. Manhole seemed to stare straight at him through the hole for a moment. He was wrong. That I can't help him? Then Tenpo suddenly fell down from wherever he was. It felt more like an enclosed slide than an actual fall. Enclosed slide? Oh, like a slide down? Like a kid slide? When he finally stopped, he felt immobilized. He couldn't see, he could hardly move at all. Part of him wanted to panic, but another part of his mind was telling him that he was close to resolution. And this prison of dirt he seemed to be in was nothing but a weak attempt of fate at keeping him down. He looked to his right, above his shoulder. Something was moving through the dirt. Worms. Okay, never mind. It was one of the birds. Tenpo hadn't really understood what was going on. He only knew that the birds gave him solace like nothing else, even though they were literally terrorizing him the first half of this. Together they started slowly moving upwards through the dirt. Manhole could still be heard, sounding caught up in the fight. What? Damn all of you. Why won't you leave us alone? I just want this to end. You don't realize what you're doing. We could finally be in one piece. Don't you think he's been through enough? Who? Tenpo kept going up. The dirt got softer. Then he encountered concrete. Luckily, it wasn't as resistant as he expected it to be. Another bird appeared on his side and started pecking against the concrete. Then another bird appeared and did the same. Are we inside of Manhole? And how did Manhole get inside of himself? The words out of Manhole got weirder, as if he'd suddenly started talking to somebody else. And the birds on Tenpo's side became more and more. Was that really Manhole's voice? How are you? What have you been doing? I've had a lot of work to do lately. You won't remember me. It must have been tiring. I've been making some changes. I see. What if I just clicked on the side? They all banged their hands and beaks. They all banged their hands and beaks against what looked like a wooden door. Manhole's words resonated all around them, as if he was right there, clicking on things. By this point, however, Tenpo was sure those words weren't actually Manhole's. Will I remember you? Does this mom have dementia or something? An unknown force suddenly pulled him downwards yet again. It was like being swallowed. Whatever source of strength had guided him up to that point mercilessly disappeared. Where did the birds go? What is he talking about? I bet I did miss something. I always do. Well, nothing happened, so must have did it wrong again. But let's see if we can get the next one. Ah, fuck. Alright. Alright. I really don't feel like I have the tools to even know which one I'm supposed to click on. Who is he? Who is he? He was wrong. Are we talking about Manhole? Are we talking about Felice? We don't know what Felice has said to Herman in the past. Yeah, I've been here for over 10 minutes and I think I'm gonna save and go to bed cause bye.
Several days later.
The developer said that the placement is where we're filling in. So I just want this to end is where the he is. The I and the he are in the first part of the sentence. And so was it supposed to be where the word remember is? And then wrong is at the very end. So the sentence that says, will I remember you at the end? We replace this? I don't know. Something like that, but that's really complicated. Okay. You know what? Am I supposed to click on the placement in the sentence? Oh my god. I'm dumb. Am I stupid? I don't think I'm stupid. I don't know if we're supposed to click any of these. Maybe we have to click. Oh, you see that? When I hover over it, it becomes really highlighted like in white. But it seems to do that when the background changes. I'm gonna click I. So, alright. I is at the beginning of the sentence. He is at the beginning of the sentence. So we're gonna click I. That's so complicated. I would never have figured this out. I was doing this yesterday for like 20 minutes. I would have never figured that out. Oh my god. I don't think anybody's gonna figure that out. I feel like maybe like hovering over these and then them changing colors would like help. Like yellow as you hover over a word. So again, was is like in the middle of the sentence. So whatever's in the middle of this sentence. Also these two are in the middle. You know, won't and remember. And when you're looking at this, it looks like there's two words on either side of was. Not like two words here and then one over here. But I was told it's like this. Okay. And then finally, there is this one. It's at the end of the sentence because there's a period, so it's going to be the last word. But also, I feel like if that's the hint, like sentence structure, there should be like blanks. So that people can kind of maybe figure out that it's placement and not just a phrase. I was trying to put phrases together, but maybe these need to be separated. So like maybe he is its own piece of paper up here, and then was is in the middle, and then wrong is here. Because it's 3 different pages. So sometimes I felt like I had to click on a few. Like I had no idea really how I was supposed to do this. It's a little too abstract. But yes. Will I remember you? Click this. And that's that. I would have never figured that out. The developer is so patient. Maybe everyone else is just really smart. And I'm just big dumb. Alright, finally. New content! Manhole, now finally out of adversaries to fight, stared at Tenpo with his angry, balled-up hands. They found themselves in a bedroom. Manhole moved to the center of the room to face Tenpo. Tenpo got up, a new feeling in his heart, a new tone in his voice. You don't want me to understand or remember. I can't believe you managed to get back here. Am I right? I'd do anything to bring us out of here, back to the forest. Why? Don't dwell on the past when there's nothing good to remember. But all the bad stuff happened in the forest. Getting out of this house isn't really the point. Or is it? You don't want to go through that path. I can't remember clearly, but there is one feeling I cannot absolutely doubt. Don't. You are the worst kind of traitor. Manhole. Manhole dissolved at that. I'm not. Tenpo heard these words being spoken in a strange voice, as Manhole dissolved. A hole left behind was slowly closing off. Weird. I can't help you now. Tenpo navigated the house without a doubt in his heart and got in front of what he felt had to be the front door. He felt no resistance. He opened it and went outside. The lady was there. Oh, really? I couldn't leave without you. We both need to leave. I know. The birds united quietly at his side. Why are we all such bastards, though? Finally. I used to read the chapter titles, but I just haven't been. I don't know. Should we call this for next time? I kind of want to keep these at an hour minimum. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.